Hello students, in the earlier session I told you that we will be guiding you about question 1 of TY BCom accountancy subject. In today's session we are going to discuss the same. Before we proceed further for question 1, which is going to be asked in your exams, which chapters and topics to be prepared for that, do subscribe to our channel, do press the bell icon to stay updated with the notifications. Okay, so in this session I am going to guide you which topics to be prepared for question 1 of accountancy subject. Take out a notebook, pen and paper and mark the topics which you are supposed to prepare. So let's begin. Now, topics to be prepared for question 1. Mind well that question 1 is compulsory in exams. You don't have any option, neither internal or external. Compulsorily, you have to go in for question 1 all the chapters. So, based on your past 4-5 years papers, I have made this study for you, which topics you can prepare chapter wise to score 10 marks of question 1. Now, question 1A is going to be from amalgamation or internal reconstruction. Now, see, amalgamation is a very big chapter. It requires almost 1 month to prepare for that, against internal reconstruction, which I told you in the last session, would require only 1 week to prepare. So, generally, question 1A, they ask only from amalgamation. Otherwise, everyone would leave amalgamation completely in option and prepare only internal reconstruction. So, I guided you, I advise you that you go in for internal reconstruction for 15 marks question. But in this question, 2.5 marks is going to be from amalgamation only, 99%. So here you don't have any option but to prepare for amalgamation. Note down the topics which you need to prepare from amalgamation chapter. Rest full-fledged question you may go in with internal reconstruction. Now, purchase consideration questions can be asked. Calculation of purchase considerations, net asset method, net payment method, intrinsic value method. So short questions based on calculation of purchase consideration by net asset method, net payment method and intrinsic value method. Practical question of 2.5 mark can be asked. You all do prepare for this topic. Other than that, there are chances of theory questions. They can ask you methods of purchase consideration for 2.5 marks theory. What is net asset method? What is net payment method? What is intrinsic value method? So for 2.5 marks, a brief short note you prepare for that. They can ask you difference between merger or purchase. Which are the characteristics which identify merger? Which conditions fulfilled it would be purchase? These are the two types of amalgamations from purchasing company's point of view. They can ask you what is pooling of interest method. It is a method of accounting to be followed when there is merger. Okay, particularly in merger or purchase, if it's a merger, then pooling of interest method of accounting is to be followed. So in brief, they can ask you short note on pooling of interest method. And they can ask you what is internal reconstruction, short note on internal reconstruction. So question 1A would be most probably only from amalgamation chapter. Internal reconstruction won't be asked, otherwise everyone would leave amalgamation completely in option. Okay, keep a note of this. Going further with question number 2. Question 2 means question 1's second question, that is question 1B, 2.5 marks, which will be from holding and subsidiary company. Now here also, I advise you prepare for a P&L account from 15 marks question, 12 marks question point of view. But for 2.5 marks, mostly it would be a question from balance sheet. Otherwise, again, everyone would leave balance sheet in option like amalgamation. So what are you supposed to prepare here? Cost of control questions, calculation of cost of control, goodwill or capital reserve. Small workings are to be done for that. So that you need to prepare from balance sheet part. They can ask you what is the cost of control, or what is goodwill amount, or what is capital reserve amount. Other than that, theory can come. They can ask you what is minority interest in theory. What is intercompany transactions in theory, it can be asked. What is unrealized profit theory can be asked. What is capital and revenue profits theory can be asked. And yes, I did not mention here, but even revaluation of assets can be asked in theory. So these topics you prepare for the theory from holding and subsidiary for 2.5 marks. Mostly it would be a practical question, cost of control, that you prepare. Chances of theory are less, but that may also be asked. Going further with question number 1C, third question in question 1, that will be from banking company. Now, banking company final accounts, what can be asked for 2.5 marks is short questions on performing or non-performing assets can be asked. Further, theory on banking and non-banking assets can be asked. Non-banking assets has been asked several times. What are non-banking assets? 2.5 marks theory. Very important from exam point of view. You prepare for that for 2.5 marks. Further, they can ask you provisioning norms. Again, theory. What are standard assets? What are substandard assets? What are their provisioning norms? What percentage of provision should be kept for bad debt reserve on standard and substandard assets? Further, they can ask you short practical question on ECGC and DICGC guarantee. Finding the provision amount if there is ECGC or DICGC guarantee. And they can ask you capital adequacy ratio tier 1, tier 2 questions. So far they have not been asked. It's a newly introduced topic for the last 2 years. But here for 2.5 marks, I feel they may be able to ask you the question on capital adequacy ratio as well. So this is what you need to prepare from banking chapter for 2.5 marks point of view. Going further with the last question of 1D for 2.5 marks, that's going to be from unit 4, insurance company accounts. In that you can be asked calculation of schedules separate calculations of schedules. What is the total premium? What is the total commission? What are total operating expenses? Separate schedules are there in that chapter that you prepare thoroughly. Only premium amounts total, only commission amounts total, etc. can be asked in practical for 2.5 marks. More chances are of theory from unit 3 and 4, banking as well as from insurance. So in theory, you prepare for types of policies. What are policies? Reinsurance. What is reinsurance premium? Reinsurance ceded, accepted. What is reserve for unexpired risk and what is the percentage to be kept? What is bonus and reduction of premium? Any of these topics can be asked for 2.5 marks. So last video and this video, we have guided you thoroughly how to prepare for accountancy just in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time you can prepare for full 70 marks paper of accountancy. Take full benefit of that. You buy our video lectures from You Will Learn app. You can do that. Use the discount code and you'll get 50% discount. Instead of 1500, you'll get it only 750 rupees. Take full benefit of that. Plus, we are going to come live from 21st of November at night 10 to 11 p.m. Subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for the notifications so that you get the updates when we are going to come live to teach you these chapters. All the best for your exams. All the best for the Diwali. Wish you all a very happy Diwali and a prosperous new year. Bye everyone. Stay safe. Stay healthy.